Hey guys, so this is the first time we're going to be using one of the station labs, and I wanted to give you some real good instruction and a reference on how to use it. So in this particular case, it's going to be the skeletal systems station lab, but these same rules and these same instructions apply to all the labs. So I'm just going to go ahead. This is the assignment. This is what you'll see when you log in to Google Classroom. And you're going to click on your tab, and it's going to take you to a PowerPoint. And you'll notice a couple of things here on this PowerPoint. I'm going to move this a little bit. It's taking just a second to load. So I'm going to let this load while we're doing it. And the first thing that you need to know about this is that you do not need to do it in present mode. So don't hit the present button. Just leave it in this screen view. Okay, in this screen view, you can move everything you need to move. You can answer all the questions you need to answer, and you're just going to leave it in this view the whole time. So this is our virtual classroom. We're going to be doing a lab where you're going to have a chance to get a bunch of information in. Those are called input stations. And then you're going to give a bunch of information out to show me you understand it. Those are called output stations. There are 4 input stations and 4 output stations. So let's start with the input stations. That's over here. It's the watch it, read it, research it, and explore it stations. In this case, we're watching and reading about and researching the skeletal system. Now, I can actually right-click on each of these. If I hover over it and click on it, I can go straight to the slide that is involved in that station, or I can just use the navigation buttons over here. I can push down, and I'm going to each of the slides in turn. So from our classroom, there's 2 ways to access it. Each of the station has a slide or 2 that goes along with it. And we're just going to go a quick overview of each of the slides. First of all, in the Watch It station, it's going to send you a link. This link is to a YouTube video. It's usually a very short video, and it's going to explain about the skeletal system or about whatever topic we're learning about. And once you've watched the video, you're going to come back and answer these questions. And this is a slide that you can actually type on. So I'm just going to type in each of these text boxes, and I'm going to add my answer, and it's going to allow me to type in each of these stations directly. Okay, you'll notice in mine it kind of typed a little bit further below. That's okay. If they overlap, I can go in and read each of the questions. So Watch It station, you're just going to watch a quick video. It even has some sentence starters for you to do. Now, you'll notice at the bottom of each of these, it says, is your work saved? You must save your work on these, or else it can end up blank, and you actually did the work. So when you go in, you're just going to need to, it should be automatically saving. You'll notice right up here it says the last edit was seconds ago. That means it was saved seconds ago, and I'm all good to go. So depending on your computer, it may look a little different, but make sure your work is all being saved and you're saving it. You can put it under your name. Like I could say this is the Pinto Skeletal Station Lab response sheet. And each of you will have your own copy, so you're not going to be messing with the original. You can type on it. You can do whatever you want to it. Just make sure it's saved. The next one is our Read It, and you'll notice it's just a simple reading passage with a couple of you can either scribble here, you can do a drawing, you can cut and paste an image, however you want to draw the skeletal system in these little spots right here. And then the second part, it says go to part 2. It's just the next slide. Here's the rest of the reading passage and 2 more drawings. Keep going on the reading section. There's a couple of questions to make sure you comprehend. Explore it. It's asking you what are the 5 main functions. All you need to do is do a little exploring here, right? So it's got some pictures on the next slide, and it has the list here of the functions, and it has a list of all the bones on this. So between the 2 slides, you have the answers to these 3 questions. On Organize It, you're actually going to label some of these bones. So we're doing it's kind of a drag and drop, or you can type in your answer into the spaces. Let's see if I type in right there. I've typed in an answer, so we know what each of those little text box. All you have to do is type in the text box, and you get your response. Keeping going on down, the illustrate it. There's lots of different ways you can do illustrate it. So if you're comfortable with Google Draw, you can go into the Google Draw program just on your laptop and under in all the Google applications, there's Draw, and you can draw the picture there. If you're more of a pencil and paper kind of person, you can actually draw on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, and then attach that to this slideshow. You have one of those two options. You can use Paint or Draw or other graphic app. Whatever you're most comfortable with. If none of those work for you, then use pencil and paper and draw it and attach it. So that's the illustrate it. And then finally you get to the assess it. The assess it is a couple of multiple choice questions. You type your answers over here on the side. Okay, so each of the stations is self-explanatory. There are directions within each of the stations. When you're done, once you've answered all the questions, you notice at the bottom, all of these, there's a little spot that says, take me back to the lab room. This is our lab room. So to make sure that you're doing each of the stations, as you finish it, you can take the little check mark. That was the read it station, and I can move it over here to read it. And I've marked that I've completed it. So mark each of these as being done. Once you've done all of the 8 stations out here in front, you can go to the challenge. Actually, I don't think the challenge station is going to be on ours. I took that off because I didn't want y'all to have too much work. So I'm just going to make sure that that's not there. So you have 8 stations to do. That's it. The 4 input and 4 output. Please let me know if you have any questions. Do each one individually. Take your time. Do a good job on them. They're all self-explanatory, asking what you can do. Okay, so good luck with your station lab. We'll be doing more of these as we go through the next couple of weeks, especially for the human body. So make sure that you're really understanding how to do it and make sure you're getting a good job on these because it will be graded for a grade. Okay, we'll talk to y'all later.